Kelly! Did you? I didn't know. I saw on Reddit that they're like the original version of Scooby-Doo. They showed like all cleavage in that.
They kind of did
They
with
still
this too.
doing the regular one.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, she
Yeah.
showed quite a bit of cleavage.
For the record, you know you're saying something when you're the hottest girl on screen, and Sarah Michelle Gellar in the early 2000s is on the movie as well.
I don't know that she was the hottest. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was definitely.
I'm taking Velma.
Yeah.
But have you seen My Wife though? It's a pretty similar vibe.
Have you seen My Wife?
Yeah. Busty glasses and librarian vibe.
Ooh, I get librarian vibe.
Yeah. Right? Tell me you don't smash Linda Cardellini as Velma.
Sorry, you're recording.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it just makes the content better,
Hey,
Kelly.
do you want to intro this one like you did the other one?
Yeah. Here, we'll give you a script this time.
You guys don't pay me enough. It's bullshit.
We don't even get paid enough.
We don't get paid enough.
Daddy,
If
want?
anybody
Well,
needs to
maybe
get
you have better
paid,
speakers.
I need to get
Nathan,
Yeah, I agree.
Talk to our accountant.
Daddy want pie.
Yeah. I mean, listen, here, you get that $100 program and we get these audio mics working, and buddy, that's
These
what...
videos
that's
are gonna-
really all that's been holding us back.
They're
It
gonna pay for
is.
themselves.
That's
These videos are.
Brother, I'm telling you, we're so close.
We're this close.
We're on the precipice
Of what?
of success.
I can't spell.
No, we're not.
Precipice.
We've been doing the same thing for 5 years.
Yeah, and our numbers
With no
doubled whenever we
change.
did some card game content. We're 2 Lorcana videos away from 10,000
and every
fucking
like
followers.
3 or 4 months, I'm like, hey, do we want to do anything different? And the resounding answer is silence.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I like this.
Can I say, is there a teen drama involved?
Yeah. Here's
There
what we
can
can do
be.
different. We can do an improv group where we actually make a movie. And we film the process of making the movie, and then we put out the movie.
Well, after watching that VHS 85, I was thinking, like, this is very doable.
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely just make your own movie.
Yeah.
There's a movie that was shot all on like one single iPhone too, and it's a scary.
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Avatar?
No.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Way of
You're
Water.
so smart.
In one take, it was crazy.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, they're just throwing the iPhone
Uh-huh.
around.
Throwing it through the water.
Yeah.
Catching aliens in the forest.
In a mech suit.
Yeah.
All right, start us up.
All
Why
right.
can't you do
Well,
it?
we do need to clap sync.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Oh,
we
we
actually
actually
need to
clap
clap
sync?
sync this
And that
time.
means one person.
Oh.
I'll do it.
That doesn't count.
That was a good clap.
No, you gotta count it down.
Nobody counted me down.
All
I
right.
was sitting there shaking.
All right, so real clap sync this time. Kelly, you want to clap?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have 2 claps.
1.
3, 2, 1. Welcome. Okay, can I get a little bit of archipelago? What's
Welcome.
welcome? I'm a little too high.
This movie doesn't merit it for the show.
Come on, Pratt.
It's not a musical.
Such a wet blanket. Welcome
It's my nickname in high school.
to the Effin' Movie Podcast. We're your hosts, Nathan, Dylan, Kelly in the backdrop, Mason, and Price.
And you get all of our legs in this video.
All of the legs. Welcome to our
Look at
special
more.
Patreon only fan video content. You want to see our sexy shoes? You want to see our gray pants? And
You have the biggest shoes.
I've got big feet.
They are huge.
I've got big feet.
Oh my god, they thick.
No, they're 4 inches off the ground.
Oh yeah, well the high heels. You know,
Huh.
I got my shoes from DeSantis. His heels weren't big enough.
Oh God.
But also they're very supportive. Hoka.
What are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about television.
We are.
3 episodes
TV
of it.
show.
So we're the F and
Or
TV
6.
podcast?
Or 6, or
Yeah.
if you're Nathan.
Nathan watched a few extra. He's trying to get extra credit.
Nathan's getting some extra credit, and yet again we're talking about your show. Whose is your show?
Freaks and Geeks.
It was your show last time.
No, it wasn't. It was your
Yeah,
show.
Tower of God.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was.
Yeah.
JK. No,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I
was
don't
yours.
have a TV show yet.
JK. All right, never
Soon.
mind. Nathan will get a TV show eventually. Sorry, go
Freaks and Geeks is basically Linda Cardellini's character who is trying to figure out what her identity is.
Velma from Scooby-Doo.
on. Before she's Velma, but she is a
If
teenager.
you don't know who she is,
I know.
okay, well,
Yeah.
she's trying to figure out who she is. She's blending herself into these different friend groups, one of which is the Freaks.
The stoner burnouts.
Yeah, the stoner burnouts, and she kind of gets away from her, what used to be her life and her friend circle.
Which is like a mathlete life.
Also,
So
while
Geeks, yeah.
her younger brother's group, which is the Geeks of the show, kind of go through their little life and We watched 3
Well,
episodes.
Sam Levine is in this geek
Dude,
territory.
like
Who's
you
that?
can start with him, but you got 40 other people to introduce.
Yeah, but there's only like one. Real
Who's
character.
Sam Levine?
He's the
curly-headed
Jewish, the
guy.
curly-headed Jewish kid.
Oh, is he fake?
Not
Like, is he a
Sam.
big deal?
Yeah, he's in Inglourious Bastards.
No, I don't remember him.
He's one of the bastards.
Yeah, he's one of the
Yeah.
bastards.
He's in several other things too.
No,
A lot of the people in this are like,
Actually famous.
yeah, very actually famous.
Right.
James Franco used to be.
He still is.
No, he's
Like,
still getting a movie. He just
If
got
you
a movie
ask
announced.
anybody who James Franco is, they're gonna oh, he's from this, or this.
I would say he's more infamous now than famous.
I think people are hanging out with him less publicly.
Well,
That's how I would put it.
yeah,
amongst
sororities have really locked up their doors since
Yeah.
James Franco's been around.
them. Yeah. But we all love his the other Franco brother. 'cause he
Wait,
dates
he's with Allison
Brie.
Brie. He's doing great.
Yeah, he's doing okay. Allison Brie's gotten a little
Yeah.
downhill, but not the point.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens after Community.
Yeah, your life.
Yeah. Just ask me.
That's true.
But yeah, what do we think for the first few episodes?
So I think we probably go by episode
Sure.
basis because that usually makes
Close-ish.
the most sense.
Episode 1 was the one I reacted to the strongest, and it was in a negative light for me. Because a big thing that I get from shows is I really judge the vibe of shows. Like if I want like a happy show, like Parks and Rec is easily that go-to. If I want like just a straight up comedy that I'm not thinking about, Always Sunny is that kind of vibe. This first episode gave me the most like negative, mean vibe because everyone in the first episode is straight up, and if you're watching this, Mom, whatever, everybody is an asshole in this show. Like everyone is so mean to everybody, and like it just doesn't stop the whole time with like the scene that got me the most with them with 2 random high schoolers bullying this mentally disabled kid, and then he eventually runs away and breaks his arm. And nothing bad ever happens to them. No, like, come to Jesus kind of thing happens to them. And then after the scene after that, Velma, whatever her name is, gets
Linda
pulled
Cardellini.
in by the cool teacher or whatever, and is like, "You're in trouble." And she's like, "I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to like I was trying to help him. I didn't mean to make it worse." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I don't care about him. I'm talking about the math decathlon. Like, why aren't you doing that anymore?" I'm like,
So there was no
They're not even
repercussions
talking
for
about
her
that.
like breaking his arm, essentially.
no,
Right.
nobody did. It was just this
Well, I
scene
mean,
of
she didn't break his
meanness.
arm.
She
Yeah.
did.
He broke his arm.
She just
he-
kind of
Yeah.
said a couple wrong things.
Right.
which-
She upset him enough to make
But
some poor
to
decisions.
me, I know people in high school that would do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to see that.
Well,
I do
okay,
too, like,
but
I
this
saw
is just
somebody-
like a.
I'm trying not to be reminded of high school price
Yeah,
tag.
I don't-
That's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if like at the end, like at the dance or something, like the 2 bullies who bullied that kid maybe had like goop like poured all over him. And
Carried
everybody's
down,
like,
yeah.
and everybody's like, ha ha, like that would fit the tone of this
so
show.
your
and
biggest beef
whatever.
out of the start of this is just that people
too
aren't
real.
getting their justice.
Yeah.
No, it's just that like
comeuppance.
there's like repetitive meanness without like any levity to it.
We
in
need
my
Batman
opinion.
in this school
Which-
beating up the bullies.
And I know it's episode 1, which episode 2 and 3 really like I think set the course straight. Like there's not that much anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's not just mean. It's
This-
just the first episode gave us that and gave me a sour taste.
This pilot felt very, for the record, which is the name of the episode, pilot,
Mhm.
according to Hulu anyway.
Most of them are.
Yeah, but the pilot episode felt very like just nothing. Like that's the best way I can describe it. I'm like, okay, we're getting the characters, but there's not really any through line for like what we're doing other than they're at school and we're kind of have a camera crew that we're like invisibly following them around with, so to speak, right? And like that was kind of
There's also so many characters.
yeah. I mean,
Like-
there is, and like that's fine. Like that makes
And
sense.
I think that's a really good strength to it. That it's not a high school level story that only involves like a couple of people. Like
Yeah.
there's a
Mhm.
whole because I mean a high school's got hundreds of people. In
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
it's
Like-
it's good that they have that many characters kind of rotating in and out.
Yeah, I think the amount of characters is definitely not my problem with it, because definitely from episode 2 onwards they introduced some like a little bit more fun ones, and I think even 1 kind of has like some of the intro with it. But yeah, and I just don't feel like anybody shines in this first episode, like other than Linda Cardellini being a snack per use. Like
Now, if we're talking about side characters, there's one that clearly shined in this first episode.
who's the one that shines for you?
Oh,
in
the
this
dad.
Oh my God, yeah.
When they're talking at the dinner table, like, you know who else smoked? My friend. You know what happened to him? He's
He
dead.
died.
he just says
just
that about
ask Janis
everybody.
Joplin.
And
Yeah.
then, and,
She's
then,
also dead.
and then the sister or the brother was like, "Are any of your friends alive anymore?"
Yeah.
I loved him. I thought he was so funny.
He like so, and this is like a credit and like a discredit a little bit to the movie. This movie is like painfully stereotypically like character. Like these characters were, at least in the first episode, they flesh out a little bit later. But like right off the bat, every premise of them feels like they gave them the premise of this character. Like, okay, you're a dad in the '80s. You're gonna make a lot of political references, and they're like, got it. And then they never expanded past that one concept, right? Like,
and he does not change.
And he
for the
doesn't
rest
change
of the
at
series,
all.
I promise.
Yeah.
Like, he is the exact same.
Right. And I just feel like, from a comedic standpoint, that was a little wearing. Like, that, the dad did not, like, tickle my funny bone on this one. I'm just like, oh my god.
I told Price, he reminds me of Red Foreman.
Yeah.
From that 70s
Yeah.
show. He's always going to deliver that, well, how about a foot in the ass?
Yeah.
line, and you're supposed to kind of, like, be like, oh,
That's his
That's
his
him.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
which-
one-note character that you either like the note or you don't like the note.
Yeah.
So,
I like the note.
he-
Because he's barely in it.
I liked Martin Starr's character.
He's the
Guilfoyle.
he's the standout of the whole 3 episodes, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I
I
Oh,
thought he
the
was
he's
great.
one of the geeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
with
yeah,
big
yeah.
frame glasses, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that is who that is. Isn't
What
it?
are you kids doing? What are you geeks doing on my street? We came here to beat you up.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
tell them that.
Yeah.
We're going to kick your ass.
Yeah. I think
That was the best line of the whole show.
I think I made a note on the choreography that I was just like, needs John Wick director for this fight. Like,
Is the Halloween episode in the first 3?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
number
number
3.
three.
It's number 3.
Yeah, because I was also thinking like he made the very bold decision of being the bionic woman.
yes, yeah.
And then they made him own that. Like,
They did,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he went all
Brawl
out.
and all, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
he stayed in character the entire
Entire time.
time.
But yeah, I don't really have many other notes other than on episode 1. Everybody kind of just seems like they're like kind of shitty teenagers by design.
Well, I mean, Price said he doesn't want to be reminded of some of that stuff, but to me, too, you have Sam, which is the freshman, who kind of has this random love interest that he's like got a big crush on.
Oh, the cheerleader girl.
and then,
yeah.
that is obviously probably not gonna even pay him any mind.
Her and her banger cousin too at the party in episode 2.
I can't. Oh, the sober,
Yeah.
stay sober, whatever people.
I love that one.
That episode was good.
Well, we're on 1 right now.
I know.
Well, I was
say,
just
yeah.
gonna say, like I feel like that happens. Like
Right.
you do basically have a prospect, and you kind of go after someone. You pursue someone like that, and like any glance that they give you your way, you're just gonna be like, oh heck yeah! Did you see that? Did you see that? She loves me. She brought you your jacket, bro.
Yeah, that
All
jacket.
that means
That's
people
funny.
saw her
Yeah,
with your
she
jacket.
knew that it was
She's
your
your
jacket.
She walked down the
That
hallway
crap
to give it to you.
happens, though.
No,
Like,
I felt that
Yeah.
was a very organic. Like
Yeah.
I've definitely been that guy explaining to this
All
person.
right.
This.
Let's get this out. This question out.
Mhm.
Does relatability enhance the show for you?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
See,
100%.
Yeah,
Not
that
for
to me
me.
that's what this is all about.
I don't.
Right.
I don't dislike it, but I just like it doesn't add
Well,
anything.
no.
And
my-
also, this is 2 decades.
Well, then the
Right.
question is, did you find it relatable?
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff, but it doesn't enhance or detract from my. Like I just look at it as an objective TV show,
Yeah.
and if the jokes are funny, they're funny on their own. Which it
Yeah.
did have some good ones.
But teen drama, I think, is like especially so much about like, can you connect to it in some way? Because
You
it's
have
like
to, otherwise
when the
you
cringe
check out.
occurs, you need to be cringing because you're like, ideally, and this isn't a very cringe show, but like, there's gonna be little moments that are kind of just that, and you need to kind of hopefully be like, oh, God, I'm cringing because like, low key, I know that kid or I am
Well,
that
I am
kid.
him, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's besides like the big finish too. Whenever he was at the school dance or whatever, and I mean I kind of like that.
I knew that was going to get you when it
I
had
thought
the
that was
kids
pretty funny,
dancing.
yeah.
I was like, Mason. It's
Yeah.
got
Oh, yeah.
Mason all written all over it.
Dude, the
JoJo
whole
Rabbit.
time he's like pining for this
Whatever.
girl to like have
Yeah.
a slow dance. Even his
Oh,
friends.
and you know, like as you're hearing the
Yes.
song, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this one picks
This
up.
is
this
it.
poor
This
bastard.
picks up.
Uh-huh.
This
Like, he
poor
doesn't
bastard.
realize it yet. He
Yeah.
fucked up. He's
Yeah.
known this song beforehand.
And he spent no time going to her
No.
after that first dance. But yeah, it was just. I think that it was a good wrap up.
He
on
was
that.
trying to slow dance and the cha-cha slide rolls in, and it's just like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing.
I mean, we haven't even talked about them yet, but it's the group that has the most famous people in it.
Oh, the Burnout Group?
And that's
the
the Freaks.
Brat Pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout the 3 episodes, I never liked them or found them endearing.
So
None of them.
I-
James Franco,
I
Jason
hate-
Segel.
I hate to do this because
Seth
this is
Rogen.
one of those, like, you obviously just watched the first 3 episodes. One of the best things about this show is they actually flush out most of those characters.
Okay.
And it does make them better because I hate Kim. Kim is an
Oh, the one-
well,
yeah.
Oh, the girl?
Yeah, like
Yes.
within the 6 episodes I
Yeah.
watched, one of them, shows like her home life and stuff.
Yeah.
And it like really fleshes her character.
I immediately saw that character and was like, she's gonna get the grassy later. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be
Uh-huh.
one of those ones where it's like, why is she so awful? And then
Yeah.
it just gives you an episode from her perspective. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that does not
Episode
surprise.
5, I think.
That
actually,
does
yeah.
not surprise me at all. That's like exactly how it plays out. But the unfortunate truth is that we're both grading it on episodes 1 through 3. So,
Yep.
unless we're Nathan, he saw 6.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah. Can we move into episode 2 because it feels like a good point?
Yeah,
Okay, so in episode 2, this is whenever
the house party.
The house party. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna leap to immediately my favorite line and favorite moment in this whole show, and it's like 10 seconds in and out. So you got Sam Levine in the kitchen, the young Jewish kid.
That's Sam's friend.
And then he has there's like just this random black kid that he's talking to, and he's just like, come on, man, switch places. You know you'd want to. And then he's just like, no, man, like, I think I have a harder time being black than Jewish. And they're like, Sam's like trying to convince him that being like Jewish white is like objectively
It's harder.
questionable and harder to black. And like, it's just a quick little like throwaway
I don't
line.
even
But
remember that.
I don't remember
I
the
don't
exact
either.
banter on it, but the little lines that they have, it's like literally like 2 or 3 lines back and forth of like him just kind of be like, come on, like we've got it hard too. I think we could swap places.
That was pretty funny.
I thought it was just like very randomly. I tuned in and I was like, that's really funny actually.
Like, why now? Why this?
Right, yeah. Otherwise, the house party episode it's where I start to see like, all right, this is where maybe we can see some depth in the characters. Kim, like we see her getting like picked up by the older dudes and spanked and all that stuff, and immediately I'm like, oh yeah, no.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yeah, Dirty Mike and the boys literally shows up to this party.
Have you all ever had that happen at a party?
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
that old, but yes.
No, yes,
No, yeah.
that old.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Like, that's wild to me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like, I
and
remember that happening at a
somebody's
party
dad's age.
specifically
they were
where it
willing
was-
to be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
No, it's always very, very weird and jarring. I remember thinking, even as like a teenager, I'm like, why is somebody else's dad here,
Yeah.
like drinking and partying with this crowd?
Yes.
You know, every now and again, like here's the thing that makes it less weird. But as I say it out loud, I'm gonna be like, nah, it's weird. It'd be less weird sometimes when you'd go to like people's house and it'd be like their mom or their dad, and they'd be like, come party, come drink with us, and then like they'd be partying and drinking with you, and you'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Who's
Can I
the
get,
parent?
can I get out
Yeah,
of here?
right. Like Rick, can you go to bed? Like,
No, yeah, I just remember like a bunch of guys that looked like they should have been on a construction site.
Yeah.
Showing up at a party
Yeah.
that I was at, and it was
Uh-huh.
like 7 or 8 of them, and they just were all standing around just like drinking beers while everybody else was partying. And I was like, who are they? Where did they come from?
right.
Should we be
What
worried?
is this
Yeah.
situation?
Uh-huh.
Like, and at the end of it, like, everybody's like, well, I don't know. I mean, they were fine. They brought their own booze, whatever.
They just mind their own
minded their own
business.
It's
selves,
like,
yeah.
Bro,
But
like that's the bar?
Why
Like,
would you come here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's definitely a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine the 80s too. Like,
Oh my
I mean, I
God.
wasn't there, but like, I'm sure it was more open to that kind of thing anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and they're implying a pretty sexual implication with like Kim already. So,
Oh yeah.
which goes back to the fact that you're asking why they're there, and they're there for young girls for the most part.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Which is weird for James Franco to be in this episode. Kind of full circle, huh? Like,
And in the first 3 episodes, he doesn't have hardly anything to do with any of them besides her.
yeah, like
You
he
know?
just kind of like loosely flirts / encourages what's her Linda's character.
I can't remember
Taking
what
all of
her name
his like outside stuff,
Yeah.
he uses his fame to lure in young women for people who don't know. But anyway,
Oh,
like
Franco.
taking that out of the equation, like I normally like his like he usually just plays himself. Like
Yeah.
I like him in goofy movies like The Interview, This Is the End, stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I
Pineapple
hated his
Express.
character in this one just because like he's just playing that like sleazy like just smiling charismatic guy. Like
Yeah.
again, he may have more stuff going on later, but right now he's not doing anything, in my opinion, besides doing
he
that like,
doesn't
hey,
really get any
I'm
better
handsome.
6 episodes. In. I don't know if he'll get better later, but he's definitely like just kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like just a bad influence.
I just didn't like his character at all, and I didn't think him acting did anything. Like for this possibly to be his springboard into fame, like I'm very surprised. And Seth Rogen, because Seth Rogen, I
Seth
think
Rogen
is
does nothing in these 3
Seth
episodes.
Rogen delivers.
But he's another one of those people who's just like, yeah, I knew somebody just like that. Like, just
Oh,
did
yeah.
not care, barely, like, he was always there, but he's, like, barely participating
Yeah.
in, like, anything that was
But he was
actually
always in the
going
group.
on.
Uh-huh.
But it was always there.
He's chilling.
Well, taking that out of the equation, I thought Seth Rogen was very boring and one note and not fun.
As an entertainer, yeah.
Jason Segel at least was trying something. Like
Right.
I liked him a little bit.
You
'cause
get
he's,
him flushed out a lot.
Yeah,
more
he's
later
he's
on.
doing something.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing a character rather than the other two just being like, hey.
So you
Well,
keep,
I mean, I would say he's more of a lead character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because
And if he isn't, then he becomes one very soon. I don't know if you've gotten there, but he gets there.
yeah, it makes sense because he's at least trying to like interact with like Linda throughout the whole series. Like he's like it keeps playing this like weird little love triangle between her and any other random guy that she gives attention to that episode. And then like he kind of gets his. Well, I don't want to say gets a shot in episode 2. But, like, yeah, she's hugging him, and he tries to, like, take her bra off, and she's like, what the fuck are
I
you
have to
doing?
say, that's like a dark humor part that I thought was funny. Whenever,
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously very bad what he did, and then she's walking away. She's, like, crying, and he's like, John Bonham died.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Old Marshall.
I know it's not a part you're supposed to laugh at, but I thought that part was
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
But Price laughed at it.
So that's points for him.
So-
It
points
is
for
weird that he
Price.
would think, like, even in a drunken state, that, like, just because they kiss for a second, he could, like, immediately take off her bra.
Well, in the
They
80s...
didn't even kiss.
They didn't even kiss. No, she,
It
like...
it was a hug. It was a hug.
It was just a hug, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even
Yeah.
worse.
So, here's, like... I mean, here's just the honest truth about the show at the time, is, like, consent didn't exist in the 80s, so...
I mean, this
like
is
saying
what...
ADD didn't exist. In
Yeah,
the
like,
90s and
exactly. Like,
2000s.
it's not a cultural thing, so, like, gross, but sorry, that's just the truth of it. I
Also,
guess.
the main kid, I really couldn't stand the whole time.
Which one?
Sam, I
Sam?
love Sam.
I thought he was terrible. Like, why can't he shut his mouth the entire show? He's just constantly mouth breathing the whole time.
Well, he's babbling a lot.
Yeah. He's nerd babbling.
Just
That's-
shut your mouth. Just close it.
Yeah. He's got those teeth.
He does.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
got
the-
those-
I mean,
yeah.
if you don't like him, how'd you feel about him in episode 3?
Which one was...
That's
The Halloween
one,
episode,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, where he's like dressed up and going trick
trying to get his friends to trick or treat as
Yeah.
freshmen in high school. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is weird. And he's like, do you not want to be the Grouch again? It's like, yeah, I kind of do. then
Then he
Guilfoyle
gets
just needs a reason to
eggs.
drag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got egged by that group.
Yeah, he got egged by his sister. You guys ever been egged by your sister? Me either.
No.
I can't imagine. Not relatable.
Damn.
Damn. You ever seen your crush get into a car with a bunch of stoners though?
That's gotta be tough.
Me either.
Mm.
Not relatable.
Not me.
Sorry.
Have you actually been egged by your sister?
My sister is like 13 years younger than me now.
So yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she was a menace.
This happened last week.
Yeah. Maybe my 5-year-old sister, whenever I was 18, said, "Take this," egged me. That probably sounds like her. She's pretty mean.
So what do you guys think of? So basically, this show is the main character is the Linda Cardinelli girl.
Yeah.
Which
Cardellini.
Cardellini girl. Do you guys think that like in the first 3 episodes that she actually went through all of this like identity crisis and issues?
No,
Did she
so
sell it?
they imply that the reason she's changed is because she like saw her grandmother, like she was the one that was there whenever her grandmother died.
Yeah.
And
Right.
her grandmother
And that, like,
just
really
says there's
messed with
like nothing on the
Yeah.
other side too, right? Like it gives her like an existential crisis about the afterlife.
Yeah.
Which
Well, I mean, I think that's a pretty believable
Yeah.
pretext
I
to a
agree.
sudden
Uh-huh.
change like that.
mm-hmm.
It is it's maybe a little weird that you're like kind of dropped in hot into the middle of her having already kind of switched. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get any of her like interaction with her previous group
No.
that she was with
Until
beforehand.
she makes them feel like shit. Like
Yeah.
Right.
uh,
Well, you get the
Yeah,
Millie-
whenever she tries
Millie,
to get them
yeah.
to like go away whenever she's hanging out
Right.
with the new group.
See that one is like that's the cringe I can connect to with. It's the time where you have friends and then you're kind of like in a not really like in a like transition so to speak, but you're kind of like in a social transition. Maybe you have other groups of friends and it just feels like for whatever reason or another you're kind of like
they don't belong here.
you're not vibing with this new group that I'm with right now, and it's like that was
When
something I
she
connected with.
comes to the party and starts playing the piano,
Yeah.
that was pretty
Jesus
funny.
is just
Jesus,
alright.
Yeah.
Dude, she got her in right there.
Jason
Yeah.
Segel's like, yeah,
Jason
this
Segel
is
is just
the
jamming
stuff.
along, right? Well, low key, it starts to be a banger once it
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah,
setting
it kinda
up, right?
does.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to have more fun than anybody here.
I low key actually really.
Okay,
love
who would have
the-
been her?
Well, I mean, I've never drank alcohol, so
yeah,
I
it's
guess
Nathan.
at every party I was
Oh,
at.
okay.
I
I thought that. I thought
it
it would be a resounding me. But,
No, it's
okay.
Nathan.
If
He's
it's
never drank
Nathan, that's
alcohol.
fine.
No, you're Cindy.
I mean,
or
I wouldn't
Sandy.
have been like her.
Yeah.
I was never like her at a party.
No, I think Price absolutely is like either her or the
Okay, that can
the
be the
cheerleader.
that
like,
can be the
DD
question.
fan.
If you
No.
if you could pick who it was going to be one of the characters. who would each person
Nathan
be?
is the guy who came in with the dagger in his head. Like,
Yeah,
Halloween,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. That's
100%.
And he's in
Yeah.
the stay sober presentation.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't drink. You were in that thing. He's like, I just did it.
Yeah.
This looks good on a resume. Give me some of that beer, though. He's like, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking old dude was like,
Pouring on.
all right,
All
the
on
beer
the floor.
bong.
The beer
All right, we got
bong, yeah.
Nathan's character. What about Dylan then?
I have no idea who I am in this show.
Seth Rogen, maybe? I'm just kidding. You had more,
Rogan.
you had more lines.
I have
than
more
Seth
personality
Rogen.
than that.
I could see him being James Franco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see me kind of being like a charismatic asshole.
Yeah.
That's on brand for me.
Either
I can
that
see it.
or Sam's friend, which I cannot remember. Bill? No, Bill was the tall guy. Bill was
Yeah,
Bill
Bill's
Boyle.
the tall guy who's hammered at the end of the party because he drank all
And
the
watching
real beer.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Drinking out of that little like baseball cap that you get at baseball.
All right,
games.
I will say though
That
that
was so weird.
yeah,
That's some shit that would be in like some boy's room, I guess.
Right,
And you just
yeah,
have it sitting
yeah.
there.
that's some hijinks I would get. I like low key like that's the kind of funny thing where it's like the rest of the character not so much, but like him just being like, guess I'm bored, guess I'll get into trouble. Like it's very like an on brand thing for me to end up doing.
All right, Mason is definitely the little brother, right?
Yeah, Mason Sam.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
that
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question on that one.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not Kim though.
Okay,
Nobody
what
needs to
about
be
me
Cam.
then? Can I
You're-
be Cam?
No,
You're Cindy,
You're Cindy.
Which one's Cindy?
the cheerleader girl.
Yeah,
The one that
Me and you,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. Cindy kind of got us. She's definitely number 2 in the show though.
She doesn't
Like,
do anything. She doesn't have a
Nah.
character.
No,
she's
she's a
just
banger.
always like right on the edge.
She's
of
always
being
just-
like, am I interested?
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
so
so
right
I'm
around the
interested.
corner.
I'm
all
just
the
toying with you, I guess.
Yeah, Price over the
Unknowingly,
tease.
so
Unknowingly.
innocently.
Yeah,
But
You're-
you are.
you're toying with them because you're clueless, not because it's intentional, right?
Unless you want to be Jason Segel's character, which I don't know that really fits
The
you.
sexual
but,
assault part, I'm not too big a fan of.
Nah, I
so
don't- well-
I'll stay away from him.
Well, I'm James Franco, so
Well,
You got nothing
but
to
it's,
worry about.
it's out of the show, not in
Well,
the
thank
show.
goodness.
Oh, what's the? Okay, so I don't think it was in those. I think it's in the 4th episode she shows up. Kim's like rival character that like writes geek on what's
Yeah.
his name's locker. What's
Yeah.
her
yeah, it
name?
has to be a 4th
I
episode.
can't
She's in
remember.
Parks and Rec. She's like friends with Leslie Knope.
It's
April?
not. Oh no,
No.
it's
Audrey Plaza?
no.
No, definitely
Rashida
not.
Jones?
No,
Rashida
not that
Jones.
one. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's kind of a menace.
Oh yeah,
She's a
super
bad
menace.
bitch in this show.
Yeah,
I believe it.
she sucks James Franco's finger.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No, you guys haven't seen cameos
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
yet. Like
right.
there's more. And we didn't even talk about Ben Foster. I know,
Oh yeah, we barely talked.
which
about
was the
him.
mentally
He was
ill
good.
kid.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
god,
not
that,
the right
that
term
is
for
her.
Mentally
What?
ill.
No.
Or
Oh
good.
yeah,
No.
yeah. She's a bully too.
Yeah. Yeah.
She looks like a bully.
Yeah,
in
she
that.
blows
She
up,
did
though,
well.
from
No,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she hot.
But yeah, I forgot that was actually a thing until you said that.
Episode 4 hiding all the true gems. Then
Mm-hmm.
you could have said 2, 3, 4. I don't think we missed anything by watching watching episode 1.
I don't know. There's a lot of like, here's everybody, and they just pile it
Yeah.
on you here.
Yeah.
But I feel like that they're all like.
But
most
you're
of
right.
the-
The house party. And
Right,
Beyond
House Party
is
on, they're
good.
really expanding their characters, and I'm like, I don't think I'm.
Well, I feel like as far as I've watched, it seems like they're always adding characters.
No, it's a always thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like all right,
Because
this
her
week's
character
new.
kind of shows up for a while and then goes away.
Yeah.
No, it's dumb how many like old like cameos are in this, and they have like actual parts for the most part too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So episode 3, fittingly, is
Halloween.
Halloween, and
You're dating us.
Dobby. Dobby.
Okay,
Okay, keep on.
It's not being picked up.
Yeah,
Alright,
but you
well.
just have more conflict with like Linda Cardinelli's girl or
Cardellini.
Carlini's like, do
Like
I hang out with
pasta.
my mom
Cardellini.
or do I go with the freaks again?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's the same old thing.
I will say that was a little bit of my annoyance with like her character by episode 3, and I'm like, cool, we're still doing this.
But
huh?
each time she's like
Yeah.
getting more into it, which is not a good thing, obviously. But like it is, she's leaning
She
more
was
into
smashing
that character.
mailboxes in episode 3.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. She's leaning into that culture more each episode.
Right.
I did like
I-
that scene.
I
with-
feel like that's pretty typical teenager stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, when James Franco was in her room looking at her trophies and stuff, she was like, "Yeah, it's kind of dorky." It's like if I can win anything, like
I'd
I
do
think
it.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
He hasn't done a damn
Like,
thing in his life.
I know.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
and
gave him a
that's,
little bit.
that's
of
the
character.
thing is like every one of these characters I think has that sort of stuff where it's like they'll just kind of blindside you with like actually being genuine and
Honest
not
people.
just being like not just being the aloof teenager
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know that Seth Rogen ever gets there, to be
I was
honest.
about to say, I don't
Well,
know.
I
yeah,
honestly
except for-
don't.
Yeah.
I think he is who he is, and that's just how he's gonna
I-
go through life.
Right.
I can't remember like if he ever actually anything happens to him, but
Well, he makes $18 or $48 off of
Quarters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least he had that
this is the
going
best
for him.
party I've ever
It's
been to.
non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
Right,
I know.
Ugh.
What's the shape of these episodes?
Ooh.
Ready for that?
Nathan, you lead on that
I
one.
didn't know we could even do this. That was more of a joke.
No.
I mean, I think they all feel a little chunky, but I mean, I'm not too bothered by that, really. Like,
Yeah.
I would say there is definitely things that you can trim up with pretty much any one of the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, these episodes are pretty Seth Rogen in this show. Like, no shame, but like they're pretty big.
A little beefy.
They're a little beefy. They're a little beefy 5-layer burrito, which is on the menu. That's a joke for us in the past when we watch this.
You won't remember.
I'll remember. But no, yeah, I'm trying to think if like there's any episode that isn't kind of chunky. The first episode especially is really bad. I actually think like episode 2 is kind of fit though. Like
Episode 2 might have been the best one.
The
that
episode
we
2
watched.
Two's the best.
is
Yeah.
peak for me because I think like the times where I'm not like at the party, because I think the party onwards flows really, really well, and that's like half of the episode. But I think the one before that, immediately I'm like, oh, that's the sobriety like show and all that. And then we also see the teacher being like very creepy, very Grayson County. He's like, oh yeah, well now you're gonna work at the dance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's really weird. Can you just let her live her life, bro? Like, yeah.
Scritch.
Otherwise, kind of fat.
Yeah, I agree with Nathan. I do think that each one has its own like fattiness to it, but at the same time, you have so many characters that like I think it's more so you're just not vibing with a couple of the characters.
It doesn't last long enough
See
for
if
you
it'll
to
pick
Exactly.
go back to the
It
other.
will.
Yeah, it's a mic. That's what it does, Bryce.
I'm seeing it while you're talking. It'll pick up Caesar.
Oh my god, he's such a
Well.
heavy breather.
He's a mouth breather.
Yeah.
Like Sam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. I think that it's just kind of chunky, but at the same time, these are 40-something minute episodes, so
These would have been much better as 20-minute episodes. These are very
That's a
chunky.
huge.
that's
There's
half.
there's a lot. Then like they could split them in half. Then split each episode in half and have its own
so-
arc or whatever.
Well, that's just a 30-minute show versus an hour show. You can't.
Episode 1 could have been. Episode 2 and 3, I think, would have been all the time.
There's
for
just
it.
so much like we haven't even talked about like that we've skipped over just to show like how much like there's I feel like fat in this. So yeah, I feel like this is very fat.
What kind of steak is this?
It's a
All right.
very terrible ribeye you'd get from Waffle
I have a
House.
question.
Oh, why are you ordering
Which
steak at Waffle House?
which actor or actress would you guys love? Of course, Nathan's been a little bit further ahead than you
Yeah,
guys.
uh-huh.
Which which actor or actress would you guys love to have seen a cameo in this at some point?
So like Will Ferrell as a teacher, like just make something
Anything.
up.
Oh,
Anything
like,
you guys want?
To do like anything outside of movies.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
doesn't. He
yeah.
hasn't done SNL. He hasn't done like anything. And I keep
No.
looking up stuff trying to see if he's done anything, and
I was
he
gonna
has.
say he was in Catch Me If You Can. He was
Well,
in
No, I mean outside
Gilbert
of movies.
Grape. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he does like interviews for his movies, but he seems like he does not want to ever be there.
I can respect somebody who kind of just wants to probably keep their life as private as possible.
I mean, he's been famous ever since he's been like 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
Yeah.
famous as pretty much his whole life.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like,
And he's like mega.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like big famous.
Yeah,
so.
I would think a young DiCaprio would.
That would have been
Well,
the same age range.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean like actually.
No, you want-
Are we back?
Old.
And we may want to clap or something for the audio to bring it back.
Oh yeah, 3, 2, 1.
I don't feel like it.
Mason, jeez.
There we go.
Do you want me
And we're
count
back
down
to answer Mason's splendiferous question.
again? All right. Yeah, no, I know who I want in this one.
Okay.
I want Jim Carrey as an eccentric gym teacher. Like
That's a good
That would
one.
be
An
90s.
eccentric gym
Yeah.
teacher. They've already got like a very typical gym teacher.
I know.
in this
So
show.
now, but that's I don't know
He's a
about you guys.
substitute.
We
Okay.
yeah, he's a substitute one, which
Doing
but-
Ace Ventura.
yeah, like he's like I want 90s batshit like Jim Carrey, but as a
The
gym
Mask.
teacher. or something. Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah, I like
That's a
that.
really good one.
Yeah, I think that fits the vibe of the show.
I'm gonna go with like, oh gosh, I want like a crazy uncle, kind of like a Christmas Vacation kind of vibe. You know
Oh,
how
yeah. Like a-
Uncle whoever the hell it is comes
You,
in,
you
Cousin
thinking like
Eddie.
Cousin Eddie comes
like a John
in.
Leguizamo or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
I want John Goodman. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I want John
Ooh.
Goodman as the uncle that comes in and just wrecks shit.
Y'all got
Yeah.
so good. So many.
And
good
I
ones.
think that it
Sorry,
has to
we're
be the
talented.
dad's brother. The dad's very like grounded, very stern.
Yeah.
So a crazy like John Goodman just
That's on
completely
brand, too.
evens it out.
Evils
it out.
Yeah, I want him smashing
The frog in his hand?
mailboxes
Oh.
and frogs.
I thought of mine and it's really stupid.
Okay.
The one I want, it's kind of like an Ice Age. You know how there's like everything going on, and out of like an hour and a half
You have
movie,
Strat.
there's like 5 or 10 minutes of Scrat doing something. I want 90s Airbud to be in this movie, and he's like a dog like all the time, but then it does his little side adventures where he's like playing basketball and stuff.
No, real scene of this show is happening, and you just see a fucking golden retriever just shooting hoops in the
Yeah.
very background. You're like, it's the Leonardo
And
DiCaprio.
and no one ever mentions it.
Yeah. Like they
Yeah.
don't even acknowledge it. It's just always gonna happen.
And he's always doing something very talented in the
He's
background.
doing a soccer game on Tuesday.
And maybe the last episode, somebody's like, "Is that your dog?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, it's whatever."
I saw a screen cap recently for whatever reason that was quoting Airbud, or not even quoting Airbud, but they
Quoting
were just like
Airbud?
not quoting it, but it was like citing it, and it was just like, "Boy, if my child went to championships and lost to a golden
I saw
retriever,
that.
they would never hear the end of it." Yeah.
I think it'd be funny to have Danny DeVito as like
Yeah.
as the lunch cook,
Oh,
and
yeah.
also as the janitor, and just like other random positions, and
That
you
would
can
be
see
cool.
him in the
Just keep
background.
popping him
throughout
up.
the-
Yeah.
He's just like he's doing everything.
He's a jack of all trades around the school.
I just found the best Airbud quote because Dylan was talking about it.
Okay,
Is it
so
the top one?
The top one.
no. Referee number 1, ain't no rules, says a dog can't play basketball, which I assume has to be in a much more southern accent.
Oh yeah.
But
And it's in the middle of the heated argument too.
I mean, in fairness, there's not a rule that
So
says
that
a
dog
can't-
scored 70 points. He's got to be disqualified.
Ain't no rule.
Ain't no rule.
Oh my god. Anyways,
Scores
on the show. Nathan, episodes 1 through 3 only, but go add
Yeah,
in
you
4,
can go
5, 6.
6 if you want.
All right, fine.
Whatever
Add 4,
you've
5,
watched,
6.
fine. But that's going to set a bad precedent, just so we know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel.
I'm gonna
Whatever
review
you
the whole
want.
season
I
if I
feel
watch
pretty
it.
good about it. I did watch a fair chunk of it, beyond what was
Recommended.
required.
Why
Required
did you
reading,
do
yes.
that? Were you enjoying it so much you wanted to watch more?
Show
or
your
you're just
hand
like,
now.
I mean, I was like interested enough, and also I was not sure how many episodes we needed to watch.
So you just
And-
Why
kept
didn't
He
you
was
just
safe.
Why
Well,
didn't you just
I
message
thought I'd
us?
only watched like 5 episodes, and turned out I'd watched 6 episodes.
2 of us monitor the chat pretty frequently. You could have asked.
Okay.
Well, also, like at first, I couldn't even remember what we were supposed to be watching.
Oh my
so I
God.
really had to rack my brain for that one.
You all asked past lives. I think that was asked like
The day of.
40 times in the chat.
Yeah.
I should have just kept taking screenshots each time.
But yeah, I mean, if they keep up the like the new faces showing up that are like kind of those surprising cameos, and I think like the main characters carry it pretty well. I mean, I'd probably watch more of it. I don't know if I will actually watch more of it. Is the only thing that's kind of like I can't really say for sure. But for what I watched,
Aren't there a lot of episodes?
There's
Yeah.
18.
yeah,
18
see,
episodes in the first
per
season.
season, right?
But there's only
There's
one
only
season.
season though.
This
Oh.
is a one and done.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have swore
This
I was,
one
so I was
shots,
I was looking on Prime, and I thought it said there were 2 seasons.
They might have
Canceled.
Maybe
Oh,
they
they might have
it
split the
for like a
episodes.
split season.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, because I was looking at that and it's like, that's a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
episodes.
This
but,
is-
all right, if
this
it's all
is
in
one of
then
those.
maybe.
Yeah, this is one of those like cult classic. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't it get renewed? Like,
Right.
and I think it came out on MTV originally. Maybe I can't remember.
I don't know.
That sounds like it's on brand
Yeah.
for MTV at the time.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd probably give it like an 8. I think it's pretty good.
That's
Pretty
pretty
solid.
high.
T.
But you're not going to keep watching it? But you give it an 8?
I mean, TV shows are not a thing that I tend to like really sit through.
For the
But
record,
maybe.
yeah.
I'm-
Tower
I'm-
of God and Arcane, I've also said like, oh yeah, I'll definitely keep watching it. I haven't
Yeah.
continued.
You
on
finished
it.
Arcane.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
know you
did
finished
the
Tower
first
God.
time. No,
No, I can't
I don't
remember.
know. The first time I watched Arcane, I did. But since we reviewed it, I had not continued.
Rewatched it again.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I get that.
This first episode really sucks, guys. Like, it's just bad. Like, episode 2 is like pretty good and pretty funny, and then it starts to like I kind of start to get the charm and the endear on it. Like, this is one that really really sounds like it could have benefited from episode 4 because like for me I was needing
Episode
the drama.
4 is good.
Yeah.
Because episode 4 adds in that
Rashida Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's great. I think that's actually probably my favorite episode.
Right.
Of the ones that I've seen.
And I bet that's Nathan's type.
I believe
Yeah.
angry, kind of wants to bully on you. a
Step
little
on me,
bit.
dog.
So
Mommy.
I was actually thinking that while I was watching it, I was like, that girl would be my type.
Yeah.
That girl would ruin me.
This better not awaken something.
I want to assert dominance, but I want it to be a fight because I got
Like,
the dog
she's a
in me.
borderline bully. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love getting bullied.
More on Nathan's type next episode. God.
I would love to get into that.
Oh my God.
We can all get into our types.
Can that be our 200 episode? Is like we just do the dating episode, but it's over all the content we've watched.
Yes.
So, anyways, first episode sucks. The second episode's good, and you start to kind of get like the idea of the show really from like that point onwards. And I found it charming enough, but I was left lacking. And now hearing what episode 4 is, I guess I can't rate it too low because I would want to go back and watch episode 4. And I can because Hannah owns this on DVD. She genuinely really likes it.
I knew
so-
she had seen it, but I
Yeah.
didn't know how much of a fan she
That
was of
fits.
it.
No, she owns it on DVD, and she was like, "Just watch it on DVD." And I said, "I'm gonna watch it on Hulu," because
Fair.
it's
It's
less
more
effort.
convenient.
yeah.
It's true.
And she's like, "Can't you just plug it into your computer?" I'm like, "I don't have a disc reader on my computer."
Me either.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Wow, is that
It's not
thing?
a thing anymore, Grandma. Yeah. Yeah, disc things are a thing of the past now, buddy.
I mean, I know they take up some space.
And take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retail stores are getting rid of like video game disc and
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Well, I don't know about Blu-rays.
Blu-ray's my standard.
They're all going away.
I would hope
Like a
that
lot
they
of
were going
countries
away.
are like they're just no longer even going to produce and ship to like different countries. Like the U.S. still has a market for it, but
Yeah.
that's going to go away too.
I'm still always gonna collect the disc because I
Wait,
don't like the
They
idea.
Yeah,
of
say
same
that
here.
even when you stream it in like extra 4K, blah,
Right.
blah, blah,
It's
that you're
still
still
not.
getting
It's
still-
still not as good. There's still
Yeah.
compression.
Right.
Yeah.
So, tech arguments aside, I would say otherwise though, like if this show gets like the good drama behind it, I'd probably really enjoy it. I'm a good sucker for teen dramas through and through. I watch too much Degrassi.
Sean Connery's version.
Sean
of
Connery,
Degrassi.
sorry, Degrassi, and
Speedo.
and Linda Cardellini is a baddie. So yeah, this is probably like just on the first 3 episodes though. I'm only gonna give this like a 7.
Gotcha. I will say, it's funny that you say something about Degrassi. This is a less serious Degrassi.
Yeah.
That's like kind of my argument because it's
I don't
Degrassi is just drama. We're gonna nail every single issue
Bro,
that
and they
could
keep pushing that
possibly
bar.
happen
Yeah.
all the time.
All the
this
time.
movie's at least lighthearted, or this show's at least kind of lighthearted.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not a fan of teen dramas. I feel like this is
You
fat. The first episode starts off on a really bad note, not just because it's bad, but because it's just flat out mean in my opinion, and I didn't like that.
Bryce hates me.
Episodes 2 and 3 helped it a little bit, but the only character I like enjoyed every time they were on screen, I'm not gonna count the dad as a character. He has like 1 or 2 lines. He's really nothing. Was Guilfoyle's character. I enjoyed every time he was there.
Yeah.
Besides that, I really didn't like any of the characters. There's nothing like the shots aren't very cool. The music, there's a lot of like big songs in episode
Classic
1.
rock
Yeah.
type song.
But by episode 2 and 3, they spent their music budget in episode 1.
Like in subsequent, it keeps coming back.
Well, I'm judging by episode 1, 2, and 3. I
He's
don't
watched
care about
episode 4
anything
through
else.
6 though.
Yeah, you should have kept going.
Yeah, just keep watching.
But from base episode 1, 2, and 3, all the money went to episode 1 for music, and then other than that, there's not really anything of note. So I didn't care for like the acting's fine for all these characters to really go off and take off. I didn't see why they did because I didn't think they did anything truly outstanding. So the show was not for me. I definitely won't be going on and watching anything else. But there were a few times I chuckled. Like I said, there's a few good lines and whatnot. But other than that, not really. It's too fat, which hurts it a lot. So 3.5 for me.
Very cool.
I do love the constant cameos that keep getting tossed at you. I mean, in the first 9 minutes of the very first episode, you were introduced to all of these people that you didn't know had a childhood, which I think is kind of cool.
How dare they have a
I know.
childhood?
Like, I know them from 30 plus years
Yeah.
old. But I do think that this is more my cup of tea. Probably Dylan's too. And evidently Nathan's as well.
Yeah. Maybe even more Nathan's than anybody.
I was going to say, I think
I'm
Nathan owns it more than
surprised.
anybody.
Yeah.
Price evidently just didn't have a high school, life.
Yeah.
I don't care if it connects. I'm not one of those people that like comedians are like, hey, what's the deal with airplane food? And I'm like,
I do hate airplane food.
I
do hate
oh,
it.
Man,
No,
Seinfeld sent me to the heavens.
I mean, is not the point of like a lot of movies and
Content to
like,
be
culture
relatable?
to be relatable?
Yeah, that's the whole
Should
point.
It can
there not
be.
a
It
value
lets you
to
put
that?
it lets you put yourself into the
If it's a
position.
movie about my life and it's 1-to-1 and it's just terrible, if the guy from Birdemic makes a movie about my life,
Quit
That's
pitching
I'm not
it
gonna
as a
like
good
it.
thing, yeah.
Even though I'm like, yeah, that is me taking 50 P's a day. That is me. I do exactly that.
You know what, Price? I swear to God, I swear right to the Lord himself, I am gonna make a whole show.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna do an improv group and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be the Price Bell Show, and you're gonna find it relatable and you're gonna like it more for it.
And it's going to be the theme of, like, The Price is Right, but just slightly off. That way we don't get sued.
Dun, dun, dun,
Da, da,
dun,
da.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do tonight? You're gonna hang out with your wife or play League with Ben?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Can we get laugh tracks though?
We'll have to have that button on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But still, this movie is an 8 for me. Or the
Movie!
show is an 8 for me. I think that it's pretty darn fun. It does get better and better.
I'll take your
And the
word on
fact that it's a one-off kind of show, one-off season, I guess, is just it makes it that much better. It doesn't overstay its welcome where a lot of television ends up. I
Agreed.
cannot stand it. The money's flowing and they just keep pumping more seasons out, and it goes to hell almost 90% of the time.
The Office.
I mean,
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Actually, we could just keep going.
Yeah, but like this is a one season.
Parks and Rec.
It's a detriment,
So
and
they
it's
got
also a success. Yeah.
Succession.
I never
guess.
watched it.
Yeah.
Season 1. Nobody just succeeded.
Do you guys want to know the thing?
Yeah, I want to know what.
Wait,
I
you
want
did
to know
it,
what
right?
real
I gave it an
Critics
8.
give it. Is
Okay.
that?
Yeah, what-
I guess it happens for TV shows too. doesn't
Probably
it?
so.
Yes.
You guys stall. Help.
What's the cult
Nathan,
crit?
what's your favorite TV show? I'm genuinely curious.
Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Or The Expanse.
I think I know
I think
that.
The
Heard
Expanse
of that one.
is ever so slightly higher.
Is that
sounds
in space too?
They're
Yes.
both in space.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
both-
I,
both
knew,
sci-fi.
I knew that. I didn't know.
They're both like grounded. I would say they're both grounded human-based
Yeah.
space shows.
Okay.
Did you ever get around to watching the 100?
No.
That seems like something you might be.
That does.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like him.
It's similar vibe. Like
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit of like Hunger
I
Games
don't know if
drama
it
to
does
it to a degree. Yeah.
If
No,
I
it showed it.
ever pick a show, like I kind of would want to pick one of those
Ow.
two,
I
but
feel like
it's
that's fair.
it's rough to pick them because like I don't think they
No.
start
Dude,
like
I don't
Battlestar
have
is too long in the beginning, and The Expanse is too rough in the beginning.
You get 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well,
make us
an hour.
watch.
I think the first episode of Battlestar is an hour and a half. It's a movie.
I'll watch 2 for you.
Yeah, we'll round it up to 2 from Nathan.
I don't understand how. Don't completely know why.
Huh.
But
I
the
believe
tomato
it.
meter is at 100% for Freaks and Geeks, whereas the audience score is at a 96.
Everybody loved the
Wow,
show,
that's
despite it getting
wild.
canceled after one season.
But keep in mind, this is for the whole season,
Yeah.
series, however you want to call it.
right, serious from hindsight.
So,
Huh.
I mean, obviously
Yeah.
the first 3 episodes might be meh.
I think a lot of this has to do with like the Boomerang watchers, because I think this. I mean, again, this was a cult classic, so people kept coming back to this and kept being like, "This is really good." How did
Oh,
this
yeah, and it's...
Yeah, but
I've
if
gone
it's
back to it 3 times.
100%.
That means
pretty
there's like
nuts,
no
like-
detraction.
But
No
it's,
flaw.
but
No
it's
flaw.
weird. Normally, like it says Rotten Tomato, then Rotten Meter, and then it has like
Certified
1,000
friendly.
reviews, and you can click it. It
Yeah.
didn't have that.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what threw me off so much is that it didn't have that.
Are we good on the wheel?
Oh, well,
I think we're
I
good.
still believe that score though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I love the show. It is solid, but it does drag a little bit. That's why it warrants an 8. Me?
Yep.
And we're going. Dobby didn't like it.
Dobby did not like that. What we got? Ooh,
What is it?
explore every crevice. Oh God.
Price spell. Explore every crevice.
Is this The Descent?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. This is the scariest movie you've ever watched, probably.
This is the first one you've ever put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scariest movie you've ever put
I mean,
on.
I've been talking about it for a while. Like, I keep throwing out, like, maybe The Descent.
Yeah,
and
this is a good season
Like,
for. It's about time for me to put this on the wheel.
then I'm down for
And your
it.
next arrow's got to be, it's what plants crave or cuties.
It went on Cutie's cooking dinner, and then it barely,
barely.
went past it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're watching The Descent for next week.
I think it's from like 07.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Or 04.
Which there's two different endings though.
Oh shoot!
I'll
Is this
watch
gonna be
it.
the
So-
butterfly effect all
that
over?
is
It's
very,
like,
very different.
It's like I Am Legend.
Oh god.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It is similar because like
Let's
I mean
go.
they're extremely different.
Yeah.
Okay,
on how
so-
they end.
Well, there is a
Uh,
Descent too for. I'm sorry.
one of them is
for Nathan.
canonical.
Yeah.
So they made two different endings, but one of them is canonical.
What's canonical mean?
That means it's factually what's considered the ending
It's not like
for the
fan-
rest of the series.
Oh, the theatrical.
It's not like
ending.
fan fiction. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically.
So, did they also make the other ending, or was it a fan?
No, they made both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, they made
But they
both.
stuck
and that's
with one,
probably
like
the
I Am
extras.
Legend.
Sure,
Yeah.
Because like there's gonna be a sequel. And,
Right.
I mean,
I got
So, like, with I Am Legend, with him like kind of curing people, right? Like the canon of the legend now says that all right, this was the other ending, but we're making that the real ending now because
but in
it explains how they get to.
but
two.
they made
Yeah.
the canon him living, right?
No, the canon's him dying.
No, the
Or
original.
no, sorry,
The original is him
original's
dying.
the original's
Yeah,
him
the
dying.
The
original's
other
him
one
dying.
is he
But now they-
hands over the girl and everything is a-okay.
Yeah.
That's the one they're sticking with.
Yeah, that's the one
Probably.
for them to make a sequel.
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
saying.
way
That was the
understand it.
canonical.
Unless
Right.
it's a flashback thing.
Yeah, unless it's prequel, but
Yeah.
nobody would make a prequel for a sequel. Anyway, guys, that's our show. Make sure to tune in next week for The Descent. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Descent falls.
Don't
Got
go
it.
tossing caves.
Got it? Anyway, have a happy spooky Halloween when you're watching this in 2024. I hope you just got scared by looking at the date thinking, oh no, I missed Halloween. You slept right over it. I'm sorry. Sweet dreams, have a good one, and we'll see you next week for then. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell! Bye.
As content for our Patreon only. It's funny that we're actually doing The Descent because Internet Historian did a documentary about Floyd Collins in Mammoth Cave, which
Yeah.
you may know. I don't know if they do.
Oh yeah.
But I just showed Kelly like 2 days ago
Yeah.
that video because I watched it on release.
It's a good video.
It's really good. She
Yeah.
loved it, and I
Yeah.
mean, I always love Internet Historian. But that led me down a rabbit hole of I told her like, have you heard of Nutty Putty Cave? What happened there? And she's like, I haven't heard
There's
of that.
also
That's the guy
the
that got
mystery cave, like with the little hole in the wall that they like carved out deeper and deeper, and that's another like good internet like creepypasta.
Well, no, this is like a real thing. Have you all heard of Nutty Putty Cave?
That's the one where the guy got stuck in
Patreon
the-
content. I got you.
Okay.
So there was.
Nutty Putty.
So there was a cave in somebody's like backyard that like thousands of people went to. People had to get rescued all the time, so they shut it down, and you had to get a permit. So these two people got a permit. One of them was like a medical student, and his brother went in, and they were the guides for these other people. So the medical student brother goes in, crawls in, takes a wrong turn, and doesn't realize he did into an uncharted part of the cave. So to get in there, first he had to like suck in his body to make his diaphragm smaller, and then he scooted in, and then he went down head first into a part where there was no opening down there. So he was like head first with his feet up here, and he physically couldn't get out,
Yeah.
and he just died from
Yeah.
cardiac arrest.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the-
I feel
Yeah.
like I've
Because-
heard about
Because they
that
couldn't
kind of
get him
event
out, and they just
before.
had to leave his body there because
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
be too dangerous to get it out.
That one I did hear about. 'Cause
Damn.
I remember we were talking about that whenever we were at Lost River Cave. Yeah, because we were going through the caves, and then Hannah was talking about that because she loves people dying.
Have you
Yeah.
have
All
any of
white
y'all
girls
ever
do.
done any
They do.
spelunking?
I would negative interest in spelunking.
I have.
So
I would
here's what-
rather die.
Here's my take on it. You deserve to die for it with love. Like, that's too much white people shit for me.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
listen, I'll rock climb with you, buddy, but you try to take me outside and you see how I do
Well,
with that.
I
So-
mean,
I'm
I don't
with
think
you.
it was that bad, but in Craters of the Moon in Idaho, I did the Scout tunnel through like one of there's it's lava tunnels down there.
I don't like that.
And there's
What's
one-
lava comes
What are you
back?
scouting
I'm
for?
sorry, it was called the Boy Scout tunnel because it was
Oh.
discovered by Boy Scouts because
boy.
they were able to fit through
I was
it.
gonna say nobody
And-
bigger than
That's
that.
an
And I went
unfortunate
through
name.
it, and yeah, it's definitely interesting whenever you can feel like the cave both above and below you, and you're like
Nope.
Nope.
sucking through.
No.
I thought it was fun.
And you have to like
I'd do it again.
suck in your body to fit through. Oh,
No, I'm okay.
Nope.
And you have to turn your head sideways too.
No.
'Cause, you know, too big.
Also, my spine's
Too big?
Yeah.
Price
That's
couldn't
what
even
Kelly
make
was
the
saying when we were
adult scout.
We were watching
cave.
the Floyd Collins one. She was like, "You would never be able to even do this because of your head." I was
would
like,
just-
"Thanks, hon."
Yeah.
Future mother of my possible children.
Yeah. Well, if anybody's concerned about how big the heads are in this family, it's her, right? Can I get an amen? Kelly? Yeah. I was like, I see the reflection in the TV.